Hey everyone, welcome back. We got a special announcement today. Last weekend on the 26th and 27th, we hosted a charity stream for Gamers Outreach. Thanks to you all, we smashed our total goal for Team Eevee, our banner name for our first ever collab with Depths and Akari. It was insanely fun, and I'd love to do more collabs in the future. Honestly, I was the hell nervous with all the planning involved and the first ever sponsored stream as well. But on the flip side, if you were there, you'd know about the chaos that ensued over that weekend. In particular, our 4-man all Inaros level cap Steel Path Disruption run. We nearly failed it amongst the pilk chugging while eating spoonfuls of black pepper, adding nya to the end of every sentence for an hour, an insanely scuffed sortie spy, and a now to be planned Phasmo collab we have to do. I think we did it. The world's first of the most painful ever kind of run. For Inaros's No Cheese, level 9999 Steel Path Disruption. You know, I could never ask for better teammates. Who else to suffer along with on this copium train? But this Inaros run wasn't as crazy as it may seem. You've seen this Inaros before. It's the same one as the level 9999 run I did with a lens a few weeks back for the 24-hour partner celebration stream. The only thing that changed was I brought an actual weapon this time that I knew could kill demos and trash mobs. As, well, you know it's gonna be bad when everyone is on Inaros and no one has shield gating. Even still, I discovered loadout issues, but I'll get into that later. Perhaps the true hero of the day was Zeke, who single-handedly carried us through the final rounds. Come round 40 onwards, we made too many misplays and timed out on lives, while also spending lives to reach other teammates before they timed out. Round 40 was a nightmare, with enemy speed boost, but everyone was dying and we failed the first conduit. Then we had Violent Spawn disabling all our ability CC like my Muzzle Flash, while half the team was on their last lives. There was definitely at least one time Zeke was the only one alive, reviving the entire team while we were fighting violence. Come round 42, an operator dash misplay meant we couldn't revive Depths in time and she bottomed out on lives. Around 43, I was downed, stupidly, on an adjacent tile and Zeke got pulled back to frame dashing over to me, so I bottomed out on lives. So it was down to our last two players to push past round 44 and 45. Zeke actually had to res Akari after killing the lone demo on 45, but she was 3 tile sets away. He actually made it because he's a gamer, praise be the pilk, but Ping actually pulled him back on the transference. And I still, to this day, have no idea how he landed that crucial revive at literally 0 seconds remaining. And the rest was history. We made it to round 46. We made it to level 9999. But truth be told, we headed straight for extraction after that. It was enough of a copium mess, but we did it. Akari with 3 hours and 42 minutes of spin to win. I'm sorry for your hands. Depths with the oversized screen blocking HUD. Zeke the God Gamer on Vazarin spam duty. Thank you all for the collab and this run I'll never forget. I myself had Muzzle Flash, just like that last time I did the Inaros level cap. Honestly, I don't know how else I would have personally survived because any hit at that level will one-shot you. But I did finally end up learning how to Vazarin dash myself in exchange. Yes, now I can be a sweaty Vazarin Andy like you too. So, what was the build? Well, we learned a few things, and I can show you too. The Inaros is almost unchanged. We still have the Giga enemy radar with the Aura and Vigilante Pursuit, so that we can see those fast-moving demos on map far in advance and hunt them down quick. This stacks with your companion's primed animal instinct and reaches 93-meter radius. Literally the full adjacent tile over. Negation Swarm since it blocks all status effects and not just staggers and knocks like prime sure-footed. Although you have to charge it and it loses 3% per status blocked, each time you lose 3%, it's more like you gain status immunity for a few seconds and any status inflicted in that window will not drain any more Scarab armor either. This makes it extremely attractive because spamming even Epitaph and AoEs will still take a long time to remove all the armor. We went full range because at levels where any hit from an enemy will one-shot you because you don't have shield gate, I'd rather bet on enemies not shooting us to start with. Which is why I picked Muzzle Flash, because it goes through walls, which is rare for a blind ability, and follows you to pulse every time your teammates or you with the shooting gallery buff gets 6 kills collectively, meaning even if you aren't the one that gets the kills, it still counts towards the total. And there is no range limit to your allies either. They can literally be on the other side of the full map and it will still count. This is why I didn't build for health or damage reduction, since at the end, you will still get one shot no matter what if you get hit. Positive duration means our blind lasts 9.3 seconds, and so long as your team keeps killing, it will most likely refresh the 31.8 meter blind radius before the blind runs out. Basically, you should never get shot, except there's one weakness. If you head to a new area, enemies won't be blind, and you need to play more carefully, but that's where Vazarin comes in without a full reliance on it. It still gives you the option to play more aggressively when muzzle flash blinds are active and engage safely in new areas before muzzle flash procs. Because our main primer is Epitaph today, I'm bringing Vigor Swap for the holster speed while also buffing our main gun DPS to kill demos. Arcane Acceleration because rifle DPS, and Energize is self-explanatory. I brought my favorite gun, Quellor. This is a Riven build, but it would still work without one. Think of this as literally an Arcaplasma since we only use the charge shot for DPS here in level cap. But it can actually get headshot multipliers, has forced impact, and thus can use internal bleeding for big PP damage. And just like the Arca family, has multiplicative gun seal like Eclipse on the charge shot. With the absurd base crit and base damage of this weapon, it really is still currently one of the best ways to one-shot any kind of demo. Just make sure to pile on as many statuses as possible for gun seal to multiply. Merciless because the reload is god-awful, and the easy nuke slash means you won't have any problems keeping the short merciless stacks up. The pure viral is nice for doing damage against armor-stripped demos, while also being a good primer in general with the primary fire against any enemy. And then internal bleeding for extra demolist slash, and bleeding out trash mobs when you don't armor strip them. The Excellus I used was for extra flight speed to increase the fall-off range, but in hindsight, I actually had massive problems with the ammo economy towards the end, so I would strongly recommend running Vigilante supplies instead. And even considering an ammo mutation aura since we already have Vigilante Pursuit and Primed Animal Instinct for 63 enemy radar regardless. Getting kills waiting for Demolist is extremely important because it fuels both your gun CO, your galvanized multi-shot, and your merciless stacks, which together all result in an over 20 to 30 damage increase alone. And obviously aim for the head. The epitaph I used was the same usual viral radiation one I always bring, except this time with Prime Fulmination for the extra priming and CCing range. The Augur mods were kind of irrelevant outside of status duration because Inaros has no shields. The pistol ammo mutation helps with how much you'd spam this at level cap, and dexterity for the swap speed. Vast Lock was also standard, similar to all my armor strip setups. A boatload of attack speed, high noon stance so we can alternate the forward melee and neutral melee first attacks for infinite shot loops, and a lasting sting so that the virals you refresh while armor stripping Demolist last extra long. Focus was Vazarin, for once mandatory, because our entire team was one shot away from dying each time, so Protective Dash was extremely important to keep ourselves alive and be able to revive our teammates without dying ourselves. And the companion? I chose a Panzer, which still does have the bug of permanently disappearing sometimes. I don't know why it happens, but honestly with how risky this run was, I needed every chance of survivability I could get. Martyr is essentially health gate, but it can only trigger when your Panzer's in its adult form and only lasts about a quarter second, so it essentially has a cooldown of 30 seconds if your cat dies. Tech Assault can block this death 60% of the time, so I won't die then. But essentially, so long as Martyr has stored some health from your pet using the pink tentacles, dying will instead restore you by the health the cat sucked, and kill the cat instead. This is literally your only way to gate deaths on Inaros without spamming Vazarin Dash. Viral Quills is nice I guess, but you're better off using the Epitaph Primer against level 9k enemies so you can also get the Rat Procs and Cold Slows. The rest of the usual synergy with Synsets and Equilibrium are mostly irrelevant since we're only using Inaros' Scarab Armor for the Augment, which barely uses energy, and the occasional Muzzle Flash recast, and obviously stock enemy radar and vacuum. Operator Arcanes were Repair, because Elevate sucks when Inaros has thousands of HP, and Repair repairs 25% of your HP per second when in Void mode. Even on a no vitality Inaros, this is still 575 health per second. The other one was Lockdown, which both freezes enemies for breathing room since you don't have to shield gate when you're killing them, but also holding Demolist in place so you can set up the DPS rotation. How we made it work? Find a demo, spam Epitaph, Lockdown, spam Vast Lock Armor Strip until HP bar red. pull out your Quellor and shoot him in the head. It should be a one-shot usually, or two if you're playing sloppy. But please do make sure you keep your galvanized, multi-shot, gun CO, and merciless stacks mostly high. Otherwise, you'll struggle for damage. And there we go. I know this isn't my usual kind of video, but I just wanted a chance to say thanks to my team, as well as Gamers Outreach for this opportunity to make memories we will never forget. Remember, you are what you make of yourself. Your experiences shape who you are. Your friendships only foster if you put the effort into it. Me, 4 friends in a VC, laughing for a whole weekend, suffering together. Those were the moments that truly made Warframe feel alive to me again, and to us again. And you, my community, thank you for the massive showing you had on those streams. It wouldn't have been the same without all of you there. Thanks again to those who have chosen to join the Invaders. I'm hopefully looking forwards towards a brighter future in Warframe this year and expanding our adventures together, whether vicariously through my YouTube shitposts or any of you that managed to make it over to my Twitch streams. If you could do me one last flavor, I've added my team's socials down in the description. I'd greatly appreciate it if you follow through and check them out. Go hit their follow buttons and show them what we got. If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like, or better yet, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 79.5% of you are not subscribed. I'm trying my best to get you new information out always as soon as possible, like I've done with covering the new augments, Garuda's rework, and upcoming Angels of Zariman. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds on a nearly daily basis. You don't want to miss out on any of that, do you? That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.
Wow, I heard you guys like damage numbers. Am I a true Warframe content creator now? Dude, you guys like damage numbers. I heard you like damage, so I made it bigger for you guys.
What the what am I looking?
What? I heard damage is important, so I made it big.